three letters that I promote in my workshop. Three letters. FPS. Each one stands for something very important to us. F is for feeling, the P is for problem, the S is for the solution. I need you guys to ingrain that in your head. Because when it comes down to speaking to our family, friends, or loved ones, we seem to have a problem being able to communicate. And in that causes a lot of frustration, anger, resentment, pain. And a lot of that we see in our community today. We see it on the news. We have it in our homes. And we're dealing with it personally. I know I did. I grew up very angry. Angry at society, angry at my parents, angry at the world, and I was especially angry with God. But you know what I realized after a while? A lot of that was my own fault. A lot of it was my own fault. But before that time, guess who I was blaming? Everybody else. For real. I was blaming everybody else. Everybody else's fault. And I couldn't understand why. But now, in my 44 years of being on this planet, I'm on 44. 44 years of being on this planet, I realized it had a lot to do with me. So, one day, while I was in college, I took a communication course, and what I learned from that course was something that we call I statements. I statements do what? They get you, exactly. She said, repeat that please.
Responsibility on yourself.
I statements put the responsibility on yourself. Because the minute that you go with you, or you, or you, defense. Those are fighting words. And automatically, the person who's listening, they go under attack. And you can't understand why. You're just expressing yourself. You're just saying what's on your mind, how you feeling, what's going on with you. So why they getting all defensive? But that I statement makes a powerful difference. It gets you to own your feelings. It gets you to own that problem. And the magic of the whole thing is get you to come up with a solution, if you can. If you can. And most of the time, when you realize it, you can't. It takes some work, but you can do it. But first, you have to acknowledge what? Your feeling. That's the hardest thing to do, believe it or not. We might think that it's easy, but it's the hardest thing to do is to acknowledge what we feel. And to say it to somebody. Some people are very natural and gifted at it, but I wasn't one of those type of people. I struggled with it. As a young man, a young black man growing up in my home, I didn't even think it was something I was supposed to do. I kept it all to myself. I had the belief in the idea that my family and friends and loved ones are just supposed to see me and pick up on my expression, my emotions, or whatever the case may be. That I'm not even supposed to burden my family and friends with saying how I felt. So you know what I did? I kept all that to myself. And it caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, a lot of depression. Much depression. But now, like I was saying about when I took that college course, and I learned about I statements. I tell people now that I am frustrated. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm stressed. I am whatever it is that I'm feeling. I own it as mine. I state the problem shortly thereafter. I haven't eaten all day. Then I come up with a solution. What you got to cook? What you got to eat? And it makes a difference. Because if you say something that you want in the form of a solution first, the end result, you're going to turn off your listener, the person who wants to help you. Then if you state the problem, that's going to be even worse. And what's even worse still is the fact that you haven't even shared how you felt. You have not even shared how you felt. And that right there is what causes much of the anger, much of the frustration, much of the tension that we deal with. My name is Eddie, and I am the owner of Pro Auto Search. And FPS is actually a service that my company offers to the community. And right now we do it also online for free. Some of you may have my cards on the table, but it's a group that I started about 3 years ago, sort of as a social experiment, just to see how it would respond, how people would take it. And so far, I have about 1,500 members in my group. And it's a very successful group. And it's a fun group, exciting group. And so after 3 years, now I'm having the opportunity, thanks to Shell and everybody else that I come in contact with, to bring my Anger Management 101 live, in person, to a public audience such as yourself. And being able to teach in a workshop what FPS is all about. It might be a simple concept, but it's not easy to apply. The 3 letters might sound familiar, but they're not easy to apply. So application is the key in what I teach and what I offer to the community as a service in this project. And I'd like for you guys to help me in any way that you can, because I know you know someone who's angry. You yourself might be angry. And the thing about teaching this project, the program that I've been doing, I almost can smell anger on people. I'm just that good. I am just that good. And I think one of the speakers up here talking about interaction with some of the ladies in the community. And ladies, whoo. I was on the dating scene, and I'm not going to take too much time on here in a few minutes, but I was on the dating scene a few months ago. I went on a date with a few women from the online places. And my God, talk about anger. They are angry for one thing or another. And the sad part about it, I felt like I was getting the brunt of somebody else's anger. And it wasn't directed at me, but I saw it, I felt it, that the anger, the frustration of something that somebody else did to this person who's now angry at the little smallest thing that I did. If I didn't call a young lady that I was dating in 3 days or something like that, the relationship was over. I'm like, what? Wait, I didn't even do anything. But anyway, I'm not going to get into any of that. But a lot of what I teach in my program, a lot of people have benefited. It has saved relationships, marriages. People have on the job have better results with their co-workers. If you haven't picked up a flyer, and please stop off at our table. It looks like this. And there's some testimonies on the back. You can also read those. But I thank Michelle for Girls in Charge, when she spoke to me about this organization, I was very impressed. And I'm still impressed. I'm more so impressed now with the turnout we've had here today. And give y'all for giving her the support. And it's an awesome thing. And the reason why I love this organization so much is because I grew up in an era where it was just the Boys and Girls, well, now it's the Boys and Girls Club. But it was an era where it was just all about the boys. And we talked about things for the boys, but there's a lot of things out there for the boys. There was the Boys Club, Boy Scouts, Boys this, and all. There's a lot of things out there for the boys. But when Shell told me about the girls, I was like, nice, I like this. This is good. And then Girls in Charge of that, woo, I love it. So I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to doing some more work with her. And again, I'm just so happy and thankful that put this program together. And she's an amazing person. And you guys are amazing as well. And I thank each and every one of you for being here today.